Hey everybody and welcome. Today we are going to be doing something completely new here on the channel. And that is of course top 10s. Honestly, I'm very excited for it. Oh yeah, I'm turning that off because you can barely see it anyway. And I'm turning this off because we don't need that anymore. Anyway, still welcome everybody. Today we have my buddy Rye Guy joining here for another live appearance. You guys have seen him before, not only on D&D, but you've also seen him on our Backyard Baseball 2001, I think, 2001 World Series.
Yeah, that's when we also opened up all those Adventures in the Forgotten Realms booster packs.
Oh yeah, definitely fun there.
Oh yeah.
We also have Master Chief 2011 all the way over in the back there. And now, I know for a lot of you guys who are brand new, you guys usually see us reviewing a movie or a show, cartoon, or a video game or whatever, and we go by criteria. Not this time.
No.
This is actually this is something we're going to do new on the channel. We're not just going to do reviews. We're also going to be doing top 10s. We're going to be doing all the sort of stuff.
Geeking out in general.
Yeah, basically geeking out. And today we're going to be geeking out on possibly a lot of...
One of the geekiest shows to ever exist on television.
Yeah, but also made geeks badass.
Yes.
Mythbusters.
Oh, God. Rest in peace, Grant.
Grant Imahara, rest in peace,
God,
man.
that one was really sudden.
Yes,
It was, but I have to admit, though, he was one of my inspirations for thinking of maybe going into science. And it's the reason why
He made me want to watch, what was the show with... Where they
down the rabbit hole?
No. Oh, that one too. That was good. But I was talking about that robot fighting.
BattleBots.
Yeah,
BattleBots.
that's it. That made me want to watch BattleBots.
I wonder if it's still going on. I don't know. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about our top 10 favorite Mythbusters episodes. Let me see. So, right now, if we're going to go... This is not by any criteria standard.
No.
This is basically just us absolutely naming off our top 10 favorite episodes of the entire series. But for us, it's not with the new guys. It's with Adam and Jamie, the ones who started it all, along with Grant Imahara, Tori Belleci, and, of course, Carrie Byron.
Yes.
With those 5... main in particular. We also count Jesse, of course, as well as the teacher.
Scotty.
Scotty and Scotty and Jesse, both of them as well. They count as well. So, with that in mind, let's start off with our number 10.
Right.
So, we'll start off with Rye Guy, since we'll start off with him first. What was your number 10 favorite?
Well, just about any episode with an explosion would make it onto my top 10 list because it was always fun seeing something go boom. But one of my favorites that didn't involve kind of involved an explosion was when they were testing to see if C4 could make for a good campfire starter.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, the myth was that if you tried using that, it would cause an explosion, right?
Yeah, but you need the detonator to be able to cause it to explode.
True.
But yeah, that was the one in Vietnam where they were using their C4 as
and World War II.
Well, it was more in the Vietnam era that went up there that they gave the C4, and then they were using it to go up there to heat their meals and stuff like that too.
And it actually didn't do too bad, actually.
Yeah, it did. It did a really good job. They even had that robot to stomp on it to try and get the pressure to give it to make it explode.
You would need something so sudden and instantaneous,
and probably hotter than just an open flame could provide.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and you got to remember too.
Even the high speed incendiary round didn't even.
No,
but
that's where the electrical current comes through.
Yeah.
Right.
Still, I have to agree, that's definitely a good one. Right. What about you, Master Chief? What is your number 10?
My number 10 is breaking glass with your voice.
Oh, that was a good one.
Okay.
Oh, and BattleBots is still going.
Oh, yes, no, Battle... It had a hiatus.
Yeah, we were talking about BattleBots
and now it's gone.
Yeah.
But we're going back. But
what about...
it was just really neat how they went up there and they took on a challenge, and then find a voice coach that could actually go up there and be able to try to do it. And I was on there and just watching the straw, how it just goes up there, and then all of a sudden it's right there, and then it was solid. And then the minute it went, wasn't moving at all, bam.
I know there's a lot of controversy saying that there was almost like a boom mic that appeared right behind it. No. That was actually the mic stand that they kept a distance to make sure it wouldn't affect anything.
Yes, exactly.
And good Lord, when I saw that thing shatter, I'm like, holy friggin' hell.
One of my favorite glass-related myths was when they tested to see if the shockwave of a bullet could cause glass to just break mid-air.
I think that one was busted, wasn't it?
I believe so, because it just... I can't remember what the reasoning behind it was.
How are you doing there, King Rhythm?
Yeah.
My number 10 on my list, you guys actually, it's actually the Toothpaste Floss Breakout.
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
The myth is that if you put toothpaste onto a bar and you use floss to rub it back and forth, you could actually grind away and actually break yourself out of jail. And even though, yes, it would take a very long time, it is actually possible. Because it's the particles in the toothpaste that can grind on there while you're moving side to side.
That is true.
So
honestly,
they were just
using the abrasiveness of the toothpaste in itself.
Yeah.
Or trying to make sure that you were getting between the teeth, between the bars, to make sure it was no, That was a joke, people. It was a joke. Come on.
But you have to admit...
Work with me. Work with me.
I know, but you have to admit, though, it showed that it was possible, but God bless, it would take a long time.
Yeah.
So the main thing is, well, as I said, when it came, we were talking about this, I think Right Guy was the one who brought it up, it just didn't have the same energy with the two new guys, which is true.
Right.
Because when you start taking a look at like Adam and Jamie and stuff like this, everyone knows that they were not necessarily friends, but they had a deep mutual respect for each other. Mm-hmm. But I think what it really comes back down to is the fact sometimes you need that fire and ice personalities to get excellent TV. And this was excellent TV. Not only that, look on how many, during this run, look how many people were inspired through science, wanting to do something in science.
Oh, trust me, the whole science community blew up after the Mythbusters showed up.
Oh, yeah.
It was just nice that they can be able to take teachers, can take something that was pained over, that was, there, and there was a storytelling component. That was when they went up to Jamie, they went up to Jamie with the whole thing predicated this. We got this really cool show. And then he's worried about it that the science was going to be really good, but then again, will it keep the audience? And that's where he brought in Adam. And Adam's the one who made sure that the storytelling was good, and Jamie's part was to make sure that the science was good.
Yeah.
And I think that worked really, really well, and they balanced it well. But there was a lot of arguments.
Oh, yeah, of course.
There had to be.
Yeah. All right, so what would be your number 9?
You ready?
All right.
Mentos and Soda.
Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah,
that was a toss-up between Mentos and Soda and the Creamer Explosion.
I would have gone with the Creamer Explosion myself.
Well, the reason why was I like the fact they went up there and took it and see how far they could shoot it up,
Unfortunately, for me, it was definitely going to be the Creamer Explosion for my number 9 because holy hell, that is one of the biggest fireballs I've ever seen. And especially seeing the reaction of Carrie, Grant, and Tori running for their lives as that thing just starts letting loose.
Well, you saw how the wind was blowing it back towards them right there. You're just fireball chasing them. But you know what was funny was that they really could not fathom in their head that non-dairy creamer can just... it's kind of like make sure that you're not pouring non-dairy creamer when you have a gas stove and you're cooking.
Yeah,
because you can probably light the whole damn kitchen on fire.
Yeah.
That is wild.
What about you? What's your number 9?
Yeah.
My number 9, I think it'd have to be, I remember they, like near the end, they did this, they did a rocket fuel test
Oh.
with gummy bears and
Great.
Oh, I know there was a salami rocket.
I do remember, but near the end it was a comparison of what two materials would make for better rocket fuel: gummy bears or poop.
Oh yes,
Poop
yes,
more
yes.
likely because it actually does have components that could be used for fuel.
Yeah, both of them. I remember at first they both tried using both materials in a raw form,
Yeah.
but then after a while they found someone who could, who's licensed to, that could make them properly into a solid fuel for a rocket, like
Yeah.
a model rocket. And both actually did an admirable job once they were refashioned like this.
Yeah.
Actually, that kind of reminds me of an episode of Wallace and Gromit's World of Invention. Remember that guy who made his own rocket?
Oh my god.
And he used chopped up car tires along with liquid rubber to make fuel. And it was just as efficient as the rocket fuel that was used in modern rockets nowadays.
Well, rubber does can burn rather slowly, so it.
You
It
know
could
what
definitely
was
work.
Yeah.
what was cool on Wallace and Gromit? There was just so many of them. The one that I kind of liked a lot, and there was a lot,
Oh yeah.
but the one where the guy made the animals, I think it was in Norway, right?
Yes.
And the thing is that they used a thing that helped with perpetual motion. So it would go up there and it will keep itself going once it gets started. You don't need to be there to help push
yeah,
it along
it's
or
used
anything.
PVC piping, air bladders to get to actually basically breathe as well as move, get the joints to move, everything else. It basically had everything you could possibly need. All right, so what about, so we were on number 9, right?
Yeah.
So what is your number 9 was the fuel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All right,
what's your number 8?
Number 8. Oh.
I have other
Okay.
ones too. I have like 15.
For me, it was the Alaska myth where you start to lose your mind because of how the days and nights work in the winter.
Yeah, that's a. I don't.
Because
I've
I
never
know,
saw-
because I've experienced it.
My uncle's there, and he's one of the sanest people that I know. So that it's got to be a case by case basis thing.
Honestly, it's more that it really throws you off, especially when you deal with the winter time. I lived in Alaska for 2 years, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt, when you hit winter time, it will throw your clock off. And I'm not even joking. It will just destroy you.
But also in the summertime too, because
24-hour sunlight, no nighttime.
Well, it was funny. It was
Actually-
funny. It was funny. This is the funny part was I remember it was like a Thursday, and I was outside. I was officer in charge at Toke, and all of a sudden we come out, and my guys came over, and we were doing a bunch of stuff, and it was Nathaniel. Retro here had to go up there and had to get ready for school. All of a sudden, I looked down at the time. It was like at 6 o'clock at one point. Now it's like 10:30, 11. It is still like this outside.
Sweet Jesus.
And I go up there and I go, hey, you sleep? He goes, nope, it's like 6, 7 o'clock. I go, nope, it's 11. He goes, oh, time for bed.
Oh,
I actually remember one time he was at work. It was during summer. My friends came over to my house. It was on Sunday, and I was still playing games in the basement because the basement was pretty freaking huge and the echo was awesome. Anyway, at the time, my friends were like, "Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I've been playing Halo 2 for the longest time because the online servers are still going." And all of a sudden, they're like, "Dude, do you know what day it is?" I was like, "No, I know what day it is. It's Friday. Why? It's Sunday." What? I was completely thrown off.
Well, we did.
But yeah, the myth actually showed that it also shows isolation and how it can really mess with you.
Oh yeah.
So, I think that's one of my favorite myths when it comes down to that. But I have another Alaskan myth I have on my list. But let's go with Right Guy. What's your number 8?
Yeah.
My number 8, I think would have to be that rocket car, because I remember hearing. Hearing about it for the first time in the Darwin Award books, which I cannot recommend it enough if you want to feel better about yourself. also, if you want to feel better about yourself by seeing people do stupid shit, I recommend World's Dumbest. It's very funny.
Oh no! Oh yes.
But anyway, the whole thing behind this is a guy strapped a jet engine to the back of his car and turned it on so he could make his car go super fast. But at some point, he hit a bump or a rock, and that caused him to go airborne and crash into the side of a mountain.
Yep, that was
The only,
myth.
yeah, but it was crazy trying to see them replicate that.
You have to admit,
Yeah.
though, they did that 3 times. The first time, they actually made a rocket car go,
Yeah.
and it was successful. Problem is, it didn't launch and crash into a mountain.
The second time, it crashed into the ramp, didn't it?
No, it exploded.
Oh,
The rocket blew up mid-run. And then the third one was when they finally tried to attempt launching it and see how far it would go.
yeah. I remember. Oh wait, I'm remembering a different myth because I thought they put it on that rocket sled at that university,
Oh,
but
yes.
that was for
No, that was
that
for a
was for the
different one.
set. That was for trying to replicate the whole
Head-on collision.
head-on collision where the small car got sandwiched between
Yes.
the semis.
Yes.
That one's
Oh.
going to be my number 3 because.
Well, I will tell you right now, like my number 8. You remember it was between 2 of them. Was the earthquake?
The earthquake machine.
One,
That
the
was
earthquake
good.
machine, and the other one was the tanker crush.
Where
yes.
it
Where
where
they
You
the
know
back-
back.
what? The vacuum.
Oh
caused
yes,
the
yes, I
vacuum
remember
right
that
there.
one. I
So the
remember that
reason
one.
why I like, it was hard to figure out those 2 is because I like, Tesla's premise that if you find the proper frequency, that see what you can be able to do, and that's what they did. When they found the frequency of it, you could actually feel the whole bridge start to go, and that's when they had to hurry up and shut it down because they hit the resonance. So I
Yeah.
mean, after a while, you could take something down pretty quick. And the one thing I liked about the tanker truck is that they had everything right, but then they had to go up there and they had to introduce a little bit of damage. So it shows you how safe the cars really are
Yeah.
until it takes a little bit of damage, and it
And-
was. And after that, you watch this big old huge monstrosity just go down into nothing.
Concave on itself.
And, and the bad thing is you can't reverse engineer it to make it go bigger.
No.
But that was it for me.
Totally understandable.
Uh,
All right, so now it's time for our number 7. Holy sweet
This is
God.
really
Okay.
causing me to dig into my memory of Mythbusters because I
I
haven't
got
watched
one.
it for the longest time. Okay, you go.
Ready? Ping Pong Rescue.
Ping pong. Oh, where they filled the boat. That was a good one.
That was actually based on a comic book strip
of
Donald
Donald
Duck.
Duck.
No.
Yeah.
Donald Duck. Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
Donald Duck. Yeah, it was.
I remember that clearly.
And that's what made it go. That they said, "Hey, look, let's see if this is even plausible."
And they
went in there.
confirmed it.
Yeah.
And they had to do a lot of engineering. You remember how they had to go up there, swirl it? They
Oh,
had
yeah,
the
they had
force
so
of
many problems
go
with that.
down.
I get the
But
ping
when
pong
they
thing.
got it, they found that all they had to do was just swirl the water.
Yeah.
And that water swirling down took all the ping pong. And then
Yeah.
they figured out that they only used like 66 or 70% of the ping pong balls.
Actually, no, they
to
only
raise it.
used around 30%.
No,
Well,
I
really?
thought it. Well,
No, it was 30% because they still had a whole lot more left, I think.
Well, we can figure that out, but I
Yeah.
thought it was there. But when you start taking a look at it, when they went through each one, just to watch that thing actually start
I
rising to
know.
the
It
surface
was like holy shit.
And I go, and you know what? And it was like, oh my God, Donald Duck had it right.
A cartoon that actually. Oh, I just remembered what my number 5 will be because.
Yeah, it's funny that when you go, I went through the whole 294 episodes, but I realized that I didn't. Some of the ones I didn't care. I didn't really like the new guys, so I didn't utilize them. I just utilized all the older stuff, and let me tell you, there was just so much. I was writing down extra things because I couldn't figure out what would be a good number 8 without saying, well, I really like the earthquake because I like the principle behind the resonance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and-
they only used 27,000 ping pong balls,
But-
instead of the initial 60,000 that was
Yeah, okay,
supposedly
so it is a
myth.
third. Yeah, so
Yeah.
a third of it.
So about a third of the about a third of the a little over a third of the ping pong balls were used.
Which when you think about it, just think 70,000 ping pong balls.
60,000.
60,000 ping pong balls. Just think about that.
Yeah, and they only took 27,000.
Yeah, so it was
Just
it was about
crazy.
38.
It worked way too damn well.
And that was efficient. That's efficiencies right there.
I was thinking to myself, when I first saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, are you freaking kidding me?
I
There's
know.
no way that this could work. And yet somehow it worked better than I expected. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was also the first time that they actually turned fiction into freaking fact.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what threw me off.
I know what my number 7 is.
Okay, go ahead.
What is it?
The first duct tape myth, when they tried to escape from Alcatraz, which I actually...
Alcatraz? No, that's not...
I thought they
it was
used
Duct Tape Island.
Duct tape. You remember when they went in? Well, they used duct tape like on 3 different episodes, I think, of duct tape. Yeah.
There was the duct tape. Can duct tape stop a car? Can
Did you
duct
see
tape
that
hold
one?
a car in place?
No,
That was hilarious.
I didn't watch that one. I only remember...
Duct tape can make a sailboat.
Duct tape fixed the plane. Remember
yes,
when
I
they
remember
did
that.
one?
I remember
You
that.
know what? Let me tell you about the duct tape car. They went up there and they pulled it up against one of the light posts there, and then they went around the cement base for it, and they couldn't get it to move.
Yeah, they used about they only used that much duct tape.
I
That's
just
what's
remembered
crazy.
another car-related myth when they sprayed the truck
Bed liner
on everything.
Bedliner, yes,
That-
yes.
Those were a great series of tests.
It was
Actually, that's actually my number 7 because for the fact that alright, sure, it didn't necessarily work with dents like I originally thought it was going to, but yet somehow it not only managed to repel a dog's bite very easily, which I wasn't surprised, but it held back an explosion not only with wood but with freaking cinder blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that?
Holy
Too.
I do
shit.
remember.
That was some cool stuff because it just showed you the durability of it. I still have rhino lining in the back of my truck back in 2003. And I'm throwing everything into it like
And it
this, and
still
it's still
holds
good.
together.
It's still good.
That shit really is durable.
Oh heck
Yeah.
yeah!
I'm like, seriously, why don't the military ever really use this nowadays?
Okay, so what's your number 6?
Oh,
there
God,
you go.
number 6. Okay. I think you guys are gonna be. I'm not gonna be surprised about the video game episode
Oh yeah,
where they
that's
literally tried to recreate a few of the biggest video games at the time. One
Yeah.
of them was, of course, you guys know as Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja.
That
yeah.
one, which I am.
Oh,
trying to get.
that was a fun one. Yeah, I
I
remember
would
that
love
one.
to do that in real life. And of course, the Doom episode.
That was it. Yeah,
That was
where they actually had a guy from id go to the place where they were going to test and turn it into a map using
Yes.
Doom 3's engine.
Yes.
Not to mention, they actually tried to figure out if it was possible to carry all those weapons and still be able to make the mission in time.
Yes.
It was plausible, and they got that I forget
They actually they were holding the BFG.
yeah, and the I forget which professional they used. Was it a professional athlete or soldier?
Professional soldier.
Okay.
Because they needed someone that be able to actually pull that off more efficiently
Yeah.
than they could. Because when they did it by themselves, they knew they couldn't do it. But with a military soldier, he'd be able to carry all those weapons and still be able to make it in a pretty decent time.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's still pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you can't do it without a soldier in there because
Oh yeah.
you need to be accurate on that one.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I remember he said he was for some reason he was really good at hitting the undead zombies
Yeah.
in the dick.
Yeah.
I mean, with Nerf guns like that had to hurt.
So
yeah,
get
that can
this.
stick.
Okay, so now, we're still on 7. Did
Yeah.
you already do your 7?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think it was 6.
Okay,
actually.
okay, we're
Yeah,
at
we're on
number
6,
6.
yeah.
Okay, so
My number 6 is is another ping pong one where they tried to the lethal ping pong ball.
oh yeah,
That
yeah.
If I remember correctly, that one literally couldn't handle the high speeds.
No,
Yeah.
it would just
shatter.
yeah, but when they tried to do a vacuum pressure thing, so
Yes.
they pop it and then the pressure would cause it to go. I remember it was so long it would create an air cushion slowing it down so it couldn't do its job.
Ah.
Yeah, because I remember for the final one, they went to this building that was just so unbelievably long just so they could set up. I can't remember how many feet of clear plastic tubing.
Yeah.
It was.
It took a lot, but they did manage to create something.
Yeah.
All right. So what about you?
What about your number 6?
What about yours?
Oh, mine?
Mine's gonna be a little long.
Okay, mine was the Alcatraz escape.
Okay, now that was a pretty good one.
Yeah,
The whole premise of you have this one guy basically said to 2 other guys, "We're going to do this." Now this guy was a genius. So he understood tides and everything. So
I think his IQ was around 160.
Yeah, I actually watched
that was a really good one.
I watched a special on the tides and stuff around in San Francisco Bay.
Yes.
On Disney Plus because I was looking for something new, and I saw Alcatraz. I was like, ooh.
Actually, we actually went by there a few times.
We went there. It's in the museum there, the Maritime Museum. They have it to where it shows the tides. This is where
we actually
the
saw
Mythbusters
the
figured out where they were going to be at if they followed the tides out at that time. So, and it was neat on how they were able to go up there and be able to make the raft, make everything that they were going to need to be able to do this,
and not to mention, they confirmed the myth. They escaped. So, if anything, it proves that, in a way, even though they didn't make it to the destination that prisoner said, what if he lied? What if that prisoner did not know he was actually heading somewhere else?
Yeah.
And let him know they was going to Angel Island instead of the next location.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, good Lord.
But that is as I said, but that's what made it, when you know that, because they were smart and either they got caught, or what they did was they took advantage of the situation to go up there and lead a pretty normal life.
Pretty
much.
Know what I mean? Right. Okay. Mine is a tie between 3 of them. One is the tablecloth.
Trying to see if the whole...
They actually tried doing... I love the larger scale one.
There's a cat tree in there.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just worried when I heard the scratching.
That was my cat.
Yeah.
Next, of course, is... and these are both similar. The ball dropping at the same time they launch it.
Yes.
And landing at the same time. And the more like... if you launch a ball at the same speed that it's going, it's going to suddenly drop.
Oh, yeah. You remember that when what they were doing is that they were driving in a vehicle. You remember that? The truck? And then they released the ball so the ball can drop straight down. So they were trying to match the speed. And then when they fired the ball at that point, the ball should just go straight down. That took a lot of...
I don't remember that one. The only ones I remember anything like that is when they tried to replicate something from the first Hellboy movie with Ron Perlman, where
he launched the car.
Yeah, where he just slammed his fist of doom into the car to try and get it to flip.
Yep. And that didn't necessarily work out.
Right, it didn't work at all.
Actually, the last one, firing a bullet at the same, and it hits the ground at the same time a person drops a bullet.
Yeah.
Because that was never... I remember that one because it was the first time it was ever recorded. They actually fired a bullet from a long distance, and when both of them met, they both landed on the ground at the exact same time, same place.
That still had to be a really crazy...
It was.
It was.
You could not get a better result than that. And not to mention, the myth was confirmed. They pulled it off. No other person has ever recorded something like that before. They pulled it off. It was insane. Alright, now we're going on to number 5.
I know mine.
Go ahead.
You know your...
Homer Simpson Wrecking Ball.
God bless it! I knew it.
Yes, yeah.
When they did a whole episode on The Simpsons, I just lost it. Including the part where Jamie opened the box of donuts and was just wiggling his fingers like this,
yes.
That just really drove it in.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the Mythbusters were actually on Simpsons as well.
I do remember they showed that clip.
I was like, I'm not totally surprised they would do something like that. Hell, Stan Lee was in The Simpsons at one point, and Stephen Hawking.
I just remembered something, because I remember the the bit they did in The Simpsons, they launched this toy out of a cannon and it just caught on fire, which reminded me of another Darwin Award Mythbusters thing, where a guy crawls down this drainage tube that was half buried to try and get a raccoon. At first, he tried pouring gas in there, and then once he got down far enough, he lit a match to try and see where the hell he was going.
And then literally let himself...
Boosh!
Yep.
Oh,
I remember
God.
that one. What about you?
The Darwin Awards.
Mine,
5.
mine is going to be... Mine's a fun one.
Okay.
Mine is a fun one because if we had this when I was growing up, I would never join the Coast Guard.
Oh!
It's called Chicken Gun.
Oh, where they shoot the...
Where they shoot frozen chickens out of an air cannon at airplane windows.
Oh! Oh my God!
I'm telling you, you try to tell me what guy would not want to do that for a living.
Yeah.
Jeff Foxworthy said the same thing!
And that's who I took it off of. So anyway, anyway, that's the main thing right there. And the one that I had kind of going with that is also thermite and ice.
I don't remember that, but I know how thermite acts, and yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, it's actually really strange. I still am trying to figure out how that reaction works. I'm not even joking. It was absolutely insane.
Doesn't thermite burn at a couple thousand degrees?
Oh yeah, but you remember the time that he took the thermite and burned a vehicle in half?
Yeah.
Yes, because what they did was they put the thermite across the vehicle like that and lit it all on fire, and then you watch it as it trailed across.
Yeah, here, I'll show you guys. Show you.
Was that ice or dry ice?
Thermite and ice.
Alright. Well, it kind of reminds me of what would happen if you were to toss something frozen in boiling oil.
It actually reminds me of how, or plasma in water. Because it will turn into instant steam. And the steam explosion would be powerful enough. That's what it feels like to me. But at the same time,
I get that.
It acts like an actual explosion with gunpowder.
Yeah.
So, it's really interesting. For me, my number 5. Oh, okay.
Kitty.
Oh, hey, Taz. Okay. If you guys want me to say my number 5, I think you guys are going to be very surprised with this one.
Go ahead.
Come on.
Water heater.
Oh,
however,
the water when they
heater,
launched it, or the water heater cannon?
Both.
Oh yeah.
First, we'll talk about the water heater. First of all, I have heard many stories of water heaters breaking down. So I'm like thinking to myself, there's no way this is going to work.
My grandfather's water heater broke a bit. It leaked and almost flooded our basement. When it turns out the pressure release valve was stuck open just a bit because a single bit of grit was holding it open.
Yes. In this one, they got rid of the safety release valve. They got rid of all that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself,
kaboom!
I swear to God, I did not expect it to launch as high as it did. 150 feet into the freaking air.
Mr. Torg would love Mythbusters because explosions!
Yep,
yes.
pretty much. And when it comes down to water heater cannon, now here's the reason why I like it was because they just use a regular water heater.
Yeah.
They pointed it right at a vehicle. Not only did that vehicle holding onto it move back at least 10 feet, but they flipped over the freaking van. How?
Alright.
Shows you just how powerful those water heaters are. Like, shit. Holy hell. Alright, now we gotta go with our number 4.
I have mine.
What is it?
The A-Team episode.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, that's a good one.
And seeing them try and flip the car by launching the manhole cover, that was good. But I like the one where they tried to replicate the launching the wood at the guys with the explosion. Mm-hmm. I loved how they were able to do it better with their materials, because that was really, really clever.
Yeah. What about you?
Me?
What's your number 4?
Okay, now I had 2 number 4s on this one. One was lead balloon.
Oh, the lead balloon.
Okay, that was pretty cool.
I remember that.
I actually
Wasn't
thought
that
it was...
somewhat early on in Mythbusters?
Yeah,
Yes,
it was.
it
But it was
was.
actually a really good, interesting episode.
And how they had to use, was it Yugami or something like that? Origami. To
Oh,
go
yeah.
up there, and how they had to make it so it can open up because lead is so fragile and stuff.
As well
And
as
the
fragile.
second-
When it was thin as it was.
Oh my god! And just to go up there, because even though it's thin
Almost
and
like
it's
rice
very
paper.
fragile, yes, but it's also very heavy for what it is. For them to even get that to float,
That was still insane.
well, that was
I know.
insane. And here's the second one was Golf Dimple Car.
Okay,
I remember that one where they're trying to see if it was more fuel efficient than a regular car.
It was
Yes.
way more efficient.
Well, yeah, because of all the dimples, you'd get it
Less
like
air resistance.
Yes.
It's actually insane.
But they found out was, even though that they took the weight of the car
Into consideration.
but when they put the dimples into it, yes, there was an absolute marked improvement.
Especially
fuel
over
efficiency.
the control.
Yeah.
Which was insane. And remember, this is a control without the dimples and without the clay that was on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see. My number 4 is the Star Wars episode.
That was a good one.
Because
Oh, yeah.
first of all, we had to deal with the ATST crush.
Oh,
Two
that was
gigantic
good!
logs.
Getting those two giant logs just go whoosh!
Boom! Yeah.
Oh.
And completely crushed it.
That
the
was...
the other one
Oh.
was, of course, Adam and Jamie trying to do the whole using the rope to get across.
Oh, yeah.
No, that would
the
kill your
grappling
hip.
hook? Yeah,
That would kill your hips, but you'd
Yeah.
make it. And actually, it's tied with another The Walking Dead episode.
Oh, that was a good one, too.
That was great, too.
Honest, yeah.
Seeing Tori tried to do the whole camouflage and just... It
did
worked
pretty
for
good.
a while. I mean...
Until
if you-
someone spy him.
Yeah, and for zombies or animals, that probably would, like, work in real life, because if you're camouflaging visually and with sense, it would work, because zombies are little more than animals.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
the
at the same time,
sound,
it
scent.
was. Remember, they do still retain some of their own human nature. So if they
Yeah.
spot a difference, they'll know right away.
Yeah, but it would have to be somewhat obvious, because they're
Yes,
not the
yeah.
most intelligent
In this
creatures out
particular
there.
case, Tori made it a little too obvious at that point.
Yeah,
Well,
he
you know what
messed
he
up.
did was he started seeing the end there and got overzealous, and
Yeah.
then he broke character just for
Yeah.
that second.
And then, of course, there was the myth about which was better, a gun or a blade.
I can't remember how that one
Well,
turned
no,
out.
The blade won. The
No.
gun only took out 7 people, while the blade took out at least 13 to 14 people.
Yeah,
Well,
but the...
And all they did was, of course, they used foam and with paint to mark which one went down. But yeah, Adam was able to get at least 14 people down, while the gun only took down 7. So honestly, it shows the blade is better than the gun.
But for the gun's defense, it also depends on what kind of gun.
Then, of course, having one of the actors from The Walking Dead help
Michael
them out.
Rooker. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the guy. It was the guy who
Michael
played
Rooker,
Daryl. It was the guy who
Mary
played
Poppins
Daryl.
himself.
And then, of course, there was also the myth about them breaking down the door. That was actually pretty
But that
surprising.
makes sense, though.
Yeah,
but it does
because
make sense.
when they shut the door, everything's... I thought it was going to take at least maybe 3 hits, maybe 5 at most. It took 1 hit just to break down the door, and even Darius was surprised.
Well,
You didn't
it-
expect
but
that
it-
thing to go down in one move.
But you just got to remember too. Just remember, it's all about weight and pressure.
Yeah.
True,
So-
but you also
so-
noticed when all they had to do was reinforce it a little bit, and that thing was able to withstand all
Yes,
that.
yes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and that's what it's basically trying to say. He's going up there, leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And with enough boards on the door, you could actually hold off a zombie invasion.
oh yeah.
Until it just got so overwhelming. But
Yeah.
You know, even
huge.
so overwhelming at this point, all you really have to do is just make sure to board up everything.
Yeah, and if it's dry enough out there, something strong enough, just pour it on them, and then
Yes.
Yeah,
whoosh.
pretty much.
Oh yes.
So honestly, for what it's worth, it was a good episode.
But you also have to remember too. You got to remember that you're talking about flesh, right? So
Yeah.
the whole thing about The Walking Dead. Well, guess what? You have to be thinking at this point. There's nothing keeping muscle alive. There really isn't.
So the decay.
So
you could-
by the decay in itself, all walkers would be losing all the muscle. It'd all fall off.
shows
So
that
after a while, those walkers are dead anyway.
Yeah,
because there's nothing keeping muscle alive.
Right? Yeah, every season you saw the zombies starting to become more and more decayed.
Right.
So
yeah.
that theory definitely stands out.
That just reminded me of an episode of At Midnight where they had the Walking Dead creator on, and they showed him some non-licensed Walking Dead material. If you catch my drift, wink, wink.
Yeah. All right. So
that was weird.
All right. So let's go with our number 3.
Number 3, the Breaking Bad special.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, because trying to dissolve body in sulfuric
they
acid.
did an okay job, but it didn't do as well as it did in the show.
Then there was that chemical mix that they added to the
sulfuric acid. And it did better, but it still didn't dissolve completely and fall through.
That's the only problem. Even with the weakest tub they had, it still wasn't enough.
Right.
And that's the only real major problem with that one. The other one was creating an explosive using some sort of crystallized substance.
Yeah. Oh, but my favorite one was when they had the garage door opener hooked up to that machine gun.
Yes.
I'm surprised it actually worked.
It worked surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you?
I have the NASA and the Star Wars. Both
right,
of those
so
episodes.
you already talked about Star Wars. What about NASA?
Well, the NASA was just about the moon landings in itself. They went up there.
They basically botched every single conspiracy theorist.
Well, you got to understand. Too.
We did land on the moon, you dirtbags.
But basically, what they're trying to say is that it can't because you based everything off Earth. So when you're basing everything off Earth, then yes, it's easy to go up there and say yes or no. Or like, how did this suit become so bright? It had to be because of the lighting. And it's kind of like, no, take a look at the actual dust on there. The dust on the moon is not smooth like here on Earth. It is jagged. It is so when it sticks to you, it's going to refract the light. So that is the reason why that it looked like that it was a lot lighter than it actually was.
Plus, the material on the moon is made up of a reflective substance anyway, so it makes sense.
And then when they're talking about can you leave a footprint, in there, they've already proven it because they already had moon dust there, and they were able to prove that you can do that in a vacuum. And the last part was like the flag. The minute you go up there and he bumped the flag, of course it's going to make the flag move. And then after a while, it went stopped. Yeah. And then when it took off like that, you see the flag moving like this. It's like, come on, people! They lifted off. You saw the thrust as it was taking off like that. And then guess what? After a while, it went back to, whoop, 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 and it was done.
Yeah. You want to know another thing? Is that it almost reminds me of the gun episode where they try to shoot a gun in a vacuum.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yes, that was different.
Yeah. Let me see. My number. This is number 4, right?
No,
3.
3. Shoot.
What?
This one is a tie between the snowplow.
Oh, that was a good one.
And the high-speed car.
Which for
mainly the one where they launched basically this plate right towards a high speed.
Oh yes. That
just the reaction of Adam. He's like, holy crap! Oh. He completely was speechless. He had no words.
Yeah, he had no words for that. That was hilarious for a guy who had
everything
words for everything.
Yeah,
he was like, yeah, he was like. It was like the most climactic thing that he had,
and he had anticlimactic reaction.
Yeah, well, he actually had probably the most. It was kind of like the one that goes up there. It was the greatest reaction in the world because it was totally against what he normally does.
Yes, exactly.
So if you can get him to go, oh, like that, you just made the episode. You just made the episode right there. That proved it all.
The other one was a snowplow involving with Tori, Grant, and Carrie. Just absolutely.
When they were trying to split the car.
Oh yeah.
However, in this case, not only split the car, but they also launched the thing pretty much and turned it into literal dust. My God, and listening and
It was
watching
great.
them just absolutely freaking out.
But you know what was
over
bad
the
was
thing.
is that the engine, normally what they did was they had the engine in the front, and it just wasn't going through, so they got a car with the engine that was in the back.
They got
And
only
they
halfway
went up there and it went split, but it stopped where the engine was. So it wasn't strong enough to break the engine in half.
So when all of a sudden the high speed,
Arlie Ermy and the Hellcat in the 70s, it took out the engine and the car and the half, you know. But we won't go there. That's for a different show.
All right.
Number 2.
All right. Number 2. Oh shit! This is difficult. What would be my number 2? I had one earlier that I thought would be a good number 2, but let's see. What was a good one? What's bulletproof?
Oh yeah.
There's
All of them. All
Yes.
of them. All of
They
them.
tried so many things.
I
with
know.
bulletproof. It's unbelievable.
Some of them were just like,
Really?
huh? Like, really? As in, you really went with that? And
Human
really?
fat,
That's
human muscle.
Yeah. I actually saw someone say how fat you would need to be bulletproof,
No.
and it would well, you would probably, oh god, you'd probably take up most of this room if
No,
you were
even
that fat.
Even that wasn't enough, I don't think.
But yeah, practically anything that involved a gun is great because they really push the limit for guns and whatnot. One of my two of my favorite gun myths are when they did the test on the M500 from Smith and Wesson to see if it could cut through your fingers.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one. And when they there's this I believe it was a World War II myth about a gun that could shoot around corners.
Oh well, yes. Well, if you saw the barrel.
Yeah,
But
it was
you
Ben,
remember?
of course.
You remember what they did was they took
Actually,
an
no.
actual
That was
pipe.
a cartoon myth.
No, but they also
Where they
had
literally had to bend the barrel all the way back to the user.
but that's they proved that one. But they were saying is that can you be able to bend the barrel, which they did actually have a barrel that went up there that could shoot around the corner like this.
Yeah,
so,
I believe they got past 90 degrees, and it worked. I think they got. I want to say they got up to like almost, like between 100 and 120 degrees before it failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, then they did the cartoon one where they actually found a way to make the bullet go all the way back towards the user and kill them.
What they did was that they took a big, pipe and they bent it.
No,
and
they
so
didn't. They actually used a barrel.
I just remembered another cartoon thing, the plugging the gun.
Yes. With your finger.
Yeah. Oh,
Destroyed the person's finger.
Oh, of course, and it probably killed them because of bone fragments.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What about your number 2?
My number 2, of course, is it's water heater. It is just
those are good.
watching it go through 2 stories, watching the thing fly up and stuff like that. It just proves to you the power of steam. Like they had the Confederate machine gun.
Oh, that was a good
steam,
one.
But with steam. So if you take a look at just on steam power alone, steam was just a ridiculous power source.
Yeah.
It really was. Mm-hmm. It's just trying to control all that steam, trying to get that
that's
steam
the
moving.
dangerous part.
That's the dangerous part because about the time you get the pressure to where it needs to be at.
Yeah, that's when it's at its most dangerous.
Yes, and you're talking at 330 psi is around the time that this thing was going to explode, and then you're talking about all the heat that it took to go up there and create that.
Oh yeah,
pressure.
that too.
Let me see.
That makes it a pretty very freaking impressive.
Oh yeah.
My number 2 is actually a bit of a tie between.
I'll be right back.
Alright. One of them is bulletproof water.
Oh, where they shot the gun
They
into
shot
what?
a 50 cal.
And it disintegrated upon impact. I remember that. I remember they were really worried that it was going to go through and put a hole in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
But it hit the exact opposite. happen. I mean, because of how water reacts, literally under pressure, water doesn't compress, so it just the bullet just disintegrated.
Oh yeah. Let me see. I need to check one last thing here, folks. Oops, I need to change the title on this video. I said Fighting Friday instead. I was so busy trying to get everything set up, but don't worry, I'll fix it as soon as the stream is over, folks.
There we go.
The other one is shoot. I'm trying to remember that particular episode. Yeah, because I remember it was involving car stunts, I remember correctly.
Are you talking about the one where they tried to see if they could do the Dukes of Hazzard jump?
No, it was, the one where you're driving on your side.
Oh, I remember those.
That was another one that was pretty good. That's another tie on there. The other one being... God bless it, why am I blanking on some of the episodes I remember? Archimedes Death Ray.
Did they do that like 3 times?
Twice. Once was the original... Actually, no, they did 3 times. The third time was actually with the president's help.
Yes, I remember that episode where they actually talked to Obama. That I thought was really cool.
I was thinking to myself, good Lord, this just shows how huge Mythbusters became.
Yeah.
They went from this 2 to 5-man team to now one of the biggest household names in the world.
Oh, yeah. When I heard Adam and Jamie were retired, I was like...
I had a feeling it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, of course.
It sucks, but... And the last one, damn. I'm trying to remember the last one. The last one was... Oh, the 22,000-foot explosion save.
I don't remember that.
Basically, in World War II, there was a soldier who unfortunately fell out of his plane. No parachute at all. All of a sudden, an explosion happened below him, and the shockwave was enough to slow him down so he would survive the fall.
Yes. That was... But you have to... But yes, but the problem with that one was it was very circumstantial. It was going to be... it's not to say that it could not have happened.
A perfect storm of luck and coincidence.
And
that's sometimes that's something that you cannot... that you can't replicate at all.
Course.
I mean, because it makes it very, very hard.
The other one was bulletproof.
Water.
Bulletproof water.
Oh, yes.
The one where they shattered the 50 cal round into the water.
Oh, that was beautiful.
All right, and number one, hold on. I think we should all say it at the exact same time.
I would say in general, explosions, but the number one explosion.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Cement truck.
You can't go wrong with that episode, no matter how much you try.
Or explosions in general on Mythbusters, because when you think Mythbusters, you think...
We think Jamie wants Big Boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. I also think Walrus Mustache, but...
Yeah, true. When it comes down to it, though, there was the perfect amount of circumstances that went out. Not to mention, there's 600 pounds of ammo.
I thought it was 2,000.
No, 600 pounds. No, 2,000 was later. When they recreated the explosion at high speed.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to that one, 600 pounds of ammo. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, that was glorious.
My God.
To
mention, watching the reactions of everyone, they were like, oh, holy shit.
Just watching them from the distance that they were away, and they still felt everything.
Yes,
and it was just amazing.
What an amazing one, yeah. Okay. Now let's talk. Normally we would end it there, but I want to at least do one last one. Top 5 favorite lines.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the one I remember the most.
Hold on. Am I missing an eyebrow?
Oh, yeah, that's a good...
No, but you lost was your hair.
Now, which...
That was from the gasoline explosion from inside the... gas explosion?
There was... I remember a couple different ones that involved gas.
Cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
That stag thing unfortunately exploded. It's like, am I missing an eyebrow?
I actually lost an eyebrow to a gasoline explosion once.
Ouch.
Well, the story is my grandfather had, like, there was a windstorm up at our lake cabin, so there was a lot of debris. So my grandfather put it on our fire pit. He unfortunately didn't tell me that he had created a little trail of gasoline so I could light it safely from a distance. So I was about this close.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm lucky I just lost an eyebrow and some hair on my leg.
Yeah. What's one of your favorite lines?
Oh, there's too many to count.
Oh God,
But
yeah.
They're
Or
really.
at least one you can remember.
Well, there's a lot of you can remember. Jamie want big boom.
Oh.
That's
I know
probably going to be one of my favorite ones right over there.
I remember one. It was the bulletproof slaughter myth. It was like, this kills you. This kills you and everyone else in the room.
Yeah.
Just judging from the size of the bullets.
There's so many.
Yeah.
I still think one of the funniest one was when you're watching Grant in the water and a fish touches his foot.
Something just touched me!
And just lose it on air, just totally lost it on air,
He hates fish. And it's not because he hates the taste of fish, it's more he hates the touch of it.
It's funny because you take a look at it and you're just like, oh, that can't be it.
Now I want fish to eat.
Yeah, exactly. It's time for the fish fry.
Either fried fish or sushi. I just want fish.
Yes.
Okay. Favorite movie myth?
Favorite movie myth?
I gotta go with the Jaws special on that one.
Well, those were good.
I have to say the Jaws special was
Because they were
really
having
good.
so much trouble like they did in the original movie. Because Bruto, I think it was Brutus?
Brutus, yes.
Yeah, Brutus, the shark, mechanical shark they used in the movie, was giving him so much problems.
Yeah.
But
So
it
they
was
were
the
doing
same thing.
Did they also get some of the original, like, buoys or whatnot to help? Yeah.
Well, you remember when they shot the tank, to go
Yeah, how
get
it launched instead.
But
it launched.
But the thing is well, that's if you.
I'm surprised no one got hurt.
Yeah.
Because that thing launched out of the shark's mouth and went all over the place in their office.
But I think when you start taking a look at like Mythbusters in general, when you're talking about when they first started out, and then I really like the concept of when it used to be all of them together. You had the build team doing a certain amount. You had Adam and Jamie doing something.
Yeah.
But they all came together, but then all of a sudden later on they broke up into two different teams.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind it.
I think the reason why is because there were so many myths being inundated, especially during that time.
Yeah.
They needed to have their own
I
segments
understood
to be able
that,
to do it.
but my point was still the fact is it still kind of took away.
I know. But
It still took away from the actual part of
I know.
what makes Mythbusters Mythbusters.
that makes sense.
You know
But
what
at the same time, it makes sense, though.
Favorite non-Mythbuster guest to be on the show?
Oh, that's easy. Alton Brown.
Oh my God, that was one of my top 10s. I forgot to write it down.
Where they cooked the Thanksgiving meal in the car.
In the car,
Okay,
yes.
that's a good one. I was gonna say Frank Doyle.
That's in my top 5 right there. I don't know why I forgot about it.
I was gonna say Frank Doyle for my character because every time they had a large amount of explosives, Frank was there.
Oh, Deadliest Catch.
Oh, that was a good one.
Especially when they tested the whole 30-minute nap thing.
Which actually turned out
worked so much better than you think.
Yes.
Yeah.
30-minute power naps. Sometimes that's all you need.
I don't think it would work for me because I either have to sleep a minimum of an hour or so for a power nap for me, or not at all. Because
Yeah, sometimes I can.
if I don't sleep long enough, I get cranky. If I sleep too long, I get cranky. Sometimes I've slept for less than an hour and I was like, which made me pissed.
Okay. Let me see. Another guess. Oh well, there's also
Who was the one? It was not just Doyle, but it was the one that was also at the range.
Yeah, he was all. I think he was a part of the
I
SWAT
can't
team.
remember his name at all.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Yes, but he was always anytime there was at the range, they had this kid. They had this guy.
Yeah, it was sergeant of the Alameda County Sheriff's or police or something. I can't remember.
I still can't remember his name, but it is still the point is that he went in and he was always there for that.
Yeah.
But you know what I thought was really nice was, early on when they first started, they had the lorist there. You had the guy who was the narrator, then you had the lorist, the one that went in there that researched the lore of everything. And I think that lasted for about 2 seasons, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why they got rid of her, because it was always kind of like somebody that kind of sets everything up, and now the storytelling basically went back to Adam. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that if they would have took that off of him and put it on her, I think it still would have went pretty well, and stuff like that too.
True enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Favorite gun myth?
Oh man.
I think it would have to be the spinning bullet.
Oh yeah, the spinning bullet. Shoot a bullet in the ice and it'll spin around like
Yeah.
Mine will still be minigun takes down tree. And car and everything else involved. So yes.
Oh wait! I remember
Bulletproof
this one.
water is still mine.
Scratch at the Tide is this one where they tested to see if a gun could cause one of those little those playground things.
Yeah.
That was, I remember seeing, because that was actually the first time I saw the Model 500. I was like, holy hell.
I will tell you what I liked. But even though that, I think if they would have took a little bit more weight off of it, they probably would have got it to work, and that was the jetpack. You remember when they had the two?
Yeah.
I mean, and I really honestly believe that they could have done it if they would have took a little bit more weight off of that. I really did, because they were so close to running that damn thing, and I really liked that.
And trust me, jetpacks nowadays are now becoming more advanced, but at the same time, they're becoming much easier to build.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that during this whole time, that you remember how everything was based off of if you were tired, drunk, stoned, or whatever. Not even stoned. But the one thing that I wish they would have tackled more, but I don't think it was really prominent at the time, was texting. Because I guarantee you the texting would have just trounced everything.
Oh, of course. That just reminded me of something else. The Battle of the Sexes episode.
Oh yeah.
Or episodes.
Well,
because they did do part 1 and part 2.
The thing is, I didn't, I honestly, it wasn't like, like for me was anything that what you were learning from or not. It just, there's sometimes you can go up there, and it said there's always the outside that encroaches on everything and stuff like that.
Oh,
but I like, but if you went to say, what was the one with the spy one? You remember the?
Shoot.
There was a few spy ones.
Basically, it was the myth where you would try to use the ventilation shaft to get through. It's like one of those old spy movies.
Yeah.
Oh no, but you remember the one they did with the stink bomb?
That was for the down the rabbit hole.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
However, remember the whole bed sheet stopping a heat, a thermal camera?
I don't remember that.
Basically, the idea is that if you were to coat yourself in something cold, you'd be able to walk through the.
I remember.
Camera.
I remember. I remember it now.
Remember the motion sensor one, the word when they finally realized.
That's the one with the bed sheet.
You just had to
hold
walk.
up the bed sheet and you just walk. It somehow nullifies the sensor.
But it's funny.
And then when you drop it, it instantly knows you're there.
But you know what's funny is that they also found too that if you walk slow enough.
Well, because that's just science. Because if the motion sensor detects fast movement, it'll detect you. But if you move ever so slowly, you could beat
the MacGyver gifts.
The
MacGyver ones. Yes.
I remember one they tried to develop film in orange juice.
Well, no, they had all of the right components.
Unfortunately, they mixed it wrong.
But Jamie couldn't remember the order that it needed to go in.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, it would have been. You already know it's going to be confirmed anyway because he technically knew what to do.
But the problem is it's all about the order, and he knew it too, and that's the reason why he kept saying you need to do this.
Remember the homemade glider? How that failed miserably.
I remember a concrete glider.
No, this one was the MacGyver special where
technically,
Tory Grant and Carey tried
you
to.
could. The problem that you run into
The engine was too damn heavy.
No, but the problem that you also have too with some of these things too is the fact that, for the sake of safety. Now, mind you, for the sake of safety, that you went in there and you put on extra weight. So you're taking a look at it from a safety point of view. Of course, you're going. I mean, they put a lot of duct tape. They put a lot of these things. But when you take a look, what he didn't have duct tape. He had to use the string there. So you also, at that point, start reducing the weight down. Mm-hmm. And you take a look, they were using much bigger and poles to go up there and get that to work. But what they should have did is trying to make it. I think what they should have did is make this one safe. Because you weren't going to be flying it anyway. You're putting Buster in there. And then go up there and make a lighter one to see. More closer to what they had.
It looked like it, yeah. Honestly, though, judging from how it was also built, I honestly still don't think it was going to work.
I think it could have. I still do believe that it could have, too. Because it's just like this, too, is that where they were coming off and the way the heat, it was going to hit, it was going to give them just enough lift. And that's all you need. Once you get it going, everything else will work just fine.
Let me see. All right, weirdest myth.
Weirdest myth?
Polishing a turd.
That
I don't remember that one.
Was
they
hilarious.
actually were able to polish a turd.
Yes.
All right. Oh wait, the 5 pounds of 10 pounds of nope in the 5 pound bag where they tried to fit a lot of poop in a bag that could only really fit 5 or so pounds of something. I remember that was a really weird one. Like they actually tested.
Well,
that?
you want to know what they did is that they destroyed a perfectly good Corvette with a pig cadaver.
Oh yeah!
Oh!
Try to sell a car that had dead people.
A dead person in it and stuff like that. And trying to get the smell out of the car.
That's right. I'm still a little pissed about how why not go with a cheap car?
Yeah, that's what you do. Just get yourself a cheap car.
But if you want to go accurate, you gotta go with what the myth stated, which is yes, a Corvette.
Oh God, it just makes me so pissed.
You want to know what was funny?
Trust me, they were upset too when they had to destroy that car.
I think another good myth was, and it wasn't even one that
and they
were
even
going
sold
to do.
the damn thing.
And they weren't even going to at first, but they were when they were in South Africa doing the shark special. So they decided.
Oh
to
yeah,
do the one,
the mouse and the elephant.
There, which was actually they said out of everything was the most surprise there. When they went up there, you open it up, there's the mouse, and then
the elephant just backed away.
Was like backing away from this little mouse. You know?
It had no idea how to deal with it.
Yeah. It was hilarious, but it was like you see it on the cartoons, you see it on this, and then when you see it in real life, it's like going, wow, and it was consistent. It was the minute they opened it up.
Yep, you notice it saw it.
It was like,
it was like, holy crap, I got to move away from this.
I am staying away from this whole thing.
The shark specials remind me of the last Shark Week special that I was excited about, which was the Jackass Shark Week special.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh my God.
Okay.
I can't believe they did all of that.
All right. Let's see. Best myths that broke the laws of physics. For me, it was having a fan. It was basically blowing your own sail.
Oh yeah.
That
one basically gave a middle finger to Newton.
Suck it, Newton.
But you know what
they broke literally Newton's laws of physics, but basically stating that you cannot blow your own sail. Well, guess what? They actually used a giant fan, sure, but they blew their own sail.
I think the thing is too is that you got to remember that if you
you were never going that fast.
If you can't question science, then science is nothing.
Exactly.
So because that's what science is. You got to figure this guy figured this out so many centuries ago that still the absolute premise of what it is very true. Can you be able to overcome that?
No, that's the question.
And that's what you find out. But then again, did you truly overcome it? You know, was it a set of circumstances that did it? Is it repeatable?
Oh, yeah,
is
they
it all these
repeated
other things?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying is at this particular time, going up there, is it going to give you the same speed?
No.
So you already know. So it's basically, you can say that, yes, it gives you something.
It's possible.
It's plausible, but the thing is,
No, they confirmed at least
no.
when.
What I mean is, it's plausible to the sense. Is it the most efficient way to be able to go up there? Okay. But another thing is, too, if you think about it that way also, is like going up there, you're never going to go up there and utilize this as a mode of transportation.
No, you will not. But, again, that's what you would expect, though. But yeah, that's one I definitely have to say on that. Oh,
Yeah.
favorite driving myths.
Oh, my God.
Where they were able to substitute fry oil for diesel.
Yes,
That
that
was
was
a
a
pretty
good
good
one.
one. I'm not surprised
I
about that
still-
one, honestly.
this-
I'm a
the-
little surprised. I was like, oh my god, it
Well,
actually
it doesn't.
worked.
It doesn't. It's not a surprise for me because the fact that diesel is actually easier to make because it's not the refinement for unleaded gasoline is tremendous. For diesel, it is not. For diesel to be so expensive on the processing of diesel, it really there shouldn't even be like that at all.
Yeah.
You know, because all you have to do is you just take already broken down oil that you fried and stuff like that, and all you're doing is you're just sending it through filters, cleaning it, and boom, you're done. Put it in your truck and go.
Oh, ethanol alcohol.
Oh,
As
where-
opposed to-
oh, that was a good one
yeah,
too.
That one
was.
surprisingly worked, but it unfortunately had a major downside. It rusted the hell out of your car's engine. It was gonna screw your engine up big time. So it's definitely not what you would want.
Well, not on that, but
No.
you know, I think my favorite car myth, and I think it'll always be, is the Dimple Car, the golf dimples. It's the
Yeah.
only reason why it was the fact that you put dimples in, and then they came up with the perfect reason because golf balls got dimples, and here it goes.
True.
So when they did it to the car, and then having a marked improvement on it was just crazy.
Actually, one of my personal favorites, underwater car.
Oh,
Because
you mean the one where
when they went into the water and they found a way to get out of the car. And you want to know the crazy thing is? That worked for someone in real life. They were sinking, and they did exactly as the Mythbusters did, and they managed to get out of their car.
that was funny too.
It
Because
saved someone's life.
It did. It really did, because that's what Adam was saying. Once they figured out that you just slow your breathing, let it get down so everything starts
Everything
equalize.
fell off so that it equalized the pressure.
And
then you can roll down the window, basically, or
Yes,
break
or
it with
open,
one of those.
or open the door, and then you can get out. And that's
Yeah.
what this guy did.
He
waited.
actually broke it with the glass, but he did it after the water was filled up.
No, he said he went up, he went in, opened the door. He basically what he said was he did it exactly the way Adam did it. Adam went down, held his breath, relaxed. Minute it hit the bottom, opened the door, went straight up. And he said it was just that simple. It really was. But he's like he said, if he wouldn't have watched that episode of Mythbusters,
He'd be dead.
He would have panicked.
Yeah, he probably would have died.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, favorite duct tape myth.
Oh, good lord. There's a lot
I'm
of
still
them.
gonna say duct tape canyon.
That was a good one. I like Duct Tape Island.
Oh,
That was a good one, but mine is still fixing the plane with duct tape.
Yeah, that's
And
a good one too.
Literally
Yes.
making a duct tape plane.
Yes, that was but it was.
And to see everyone's faces as that thing launched into the air and actually flew.
Oh my.
Oh, you remember the one with the conveyor belt and they launched? The
Oh
plane?
my god, the
Oh,
conveyor
yeah.
belt plane!
Yeah,
Yes.
where they had the ultralight.
Yeah, the ultralight
Technically-
and it went straight up.
Yeah, the thing is, theoretically, it's not supposed to work. Yet they pulled it off almost instantaneously on the first try.
It was real. It was pretty damn cool.
It was
Oh,
amazing.
that was.
I was like, oh, holy shit. Even at the speed they were going, they matched the speed of the plane,
Yes.
yet they
Oh.
still managed to make it go forward.
Favorite
Fly.
airplane myth. Blue ice.
That was a good one.
Oh, yeah,
you
that
know,
was
you
good.
know what I liked? I liked the one where they utilized the exhaust from a plane.
Oh,
So
to flip
long-
over a bus.
to
Oh,
flip over a
yeah!
bus and stuff like that. But did you remember that they made the what do they call it? They made a One of the myths was they were going to make something that goes up there. For the storm chasers.
Oh yeah,
Remember the storm chasers.
Yeah,
where
where
the actual vehicle.
But they needed a 747 with the wind coming. The exhaust coming.
Yeah,
out.
I remember.
You remember that he had that little protective thing. He goes duck under like that. Yes, that was pretty.
I remember that.
That was good.
For me, that one is actually a really tough one because there's quite a few. One is the cabin explosion, where decompression in the chamber.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
The other one is with the passengers.
Loading the passenger.
Loading passenger efficiency.
Yes.
Because they found 3 different ways, and while one of them, of course, was on purpose to be horrible, the other one was so damn efficient. I'm surprised that airports don't use that now more often.
Yeah.
Because good Lord, just imagine the amount of time they would save.
Yeah, but there would still be that one asshole who would delay the plane just because they threw a fit.
Oh, Barking Panther says, sup.
How you doing there, Barking Panther? But yeah, honestly, you expect that. But here's the thing: this is just like in a controlled setting.
Oh yeah.
But for what it's worth, though, it's impressive that it could work so well in modern airports today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you have, and there was plenty of airplane myths. You know the one that was pretty cool? You remember the one where they went up there and they had the plane blade went through the fuselage?
Yeah,
of
that was
one?
with the one with the
I don't remember that one.
That one was pretty cool because what happened is that they had a plane that was too close, and then all of a sudden it went like that, and then all of a sudden it was chopping the plane up in perfect. And so they found out it was another blade from another plane coming in and doing it.
Oh my!
And then of course, all right. Let's talk about underwater myths.
Oh my God, there's a lot.
It is the crushing diver suit.
Yes.
Oh God!
A good one.
I bet the guy who owned the antique diving suit was pissed. Like,
no, actually, I found out he was actually excited when he watched the episode.
Well, you gotta understand.
He saw his
you have
suit.
to understand.
He saw something he never expected to see.
But
would you expect it?
No.
Yeah.
But that was absolutely crazy. But they had a lot of good underwater myths there too. I mean, a lot of them.
Like punching a shark in the nose.
Well, yeah, that was right there. In the
Luckily,
eye.
no sharks were actually harmed in the making of the episode. Of course.
Yeah, they're a lot tougher. So
no, it's because they made sure to punch very lightly. They didn't want to actually injure the creature.
But another thing is that they also had the actual. They had their mechanical
shark. Pneumatic one.
Yes.
Oh, the shark explosion. The one with Tori, Grant, and Carrie. They were trying to test out the explosion that was done in was it Deep Blue Sea, I believe.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Deep Blue Sea. Yes. Right.
Yeah, remember that one where all those explosives were on it? And
they filled some sort of crossbow bolt with a shitload of gunpowder, and then they launched it, and then LL Cool J's character just had enough time to touch it to live electrical source.
That, yep.
But if that was at all possible, one, the instant LL Cool J touched it to the electrical source, he would have got.
Yeah, he would have been electrocuted.
Well, actually, no, because it was a battery.
When he connected it.
Yeah, even for a split second.
But
second, if an explosion like that actually did happen, he would be killed along with the shark.
Wait a second. No, stop.
He lived.
No. You have to understand that you got to remember. Okay, it's a battery. Okay. So it's kind of like even if I went up there and I took,
but it's also salt water, which they proved that is more conductive.
But he wasn't in salt water. He was actually
on dry land.
On dry land, and all he did, it's just like taking the plunger and turning on the plunger.
Okay,
Nothing was going to happen to him.
True.
And it's a DC current that's going. It's not
and they actually did prove that the original explosion would never have happened.
Yeah.
All it would do was just injure the thing. It wouldn't necessarily kill
it would just give him heartburn. That was pretty.
And then, of course, there was the gigantic explosion, especially when the explosion didn't go off the first time. Everyone panicked.
Oh, yeah.
You know the one that I like?
Those bomb texts are balls of steel.
You remember when Grant made himself, it was basically what it was, an explosion that you can surf behind.
I think I remember that one.
It didn't work as well as
no. It wasn't.
This one,
Chocolate.
Oh god.
But no, seriously, it was one of those things where it was, the way I looked at it was hilarious because of the fact that, number one, they did get the explosion, was just trying to get it timed. You know, where he was getting his...
Oh, I found another water myth.
Paper towels, please.
Wakeboarding behind a cruise liner.
That's when he did. He was able to do it.
That was awesome, though.
Right.
Just literally wakeboarding behind a freaking cruise liner. Who else can say that?
Yeah, that was Tori.
Yep, and
I thought it was Grant, but
no, it was Tori.
It was Tori. Tori was more of the ballsy guy. You know?
Oh, here's one. Favorite Western myths. Mine is literally shooting the coin from a hip shot, quick draw,
or trying to empty. Mine was trying to shoot all the bullets in your gun before the poker chip fell to
the ground. Yes,
true.
There was a lot. You know, there was absolutely a ton of myths.
Oh,
you know,
what was the Confederate myth? Literally getting shot through the balls and end up impregnating a woman.
Oh my God!
Oh, I remember. Yeah,
that one they know they prove false, but still, you're basically a literal son of a gun.
Yes, and it was. But you know, there was a lot of. One I did like was the Hwacha. But you know that was
Hwacha is a Korean basically a Korean rocket launching system that uses arrows.
So back 15th century. So what it is, a 15th century Korea, they had the Japanese 30,000 troops
and
coming in, and they had 200 Hwachas already. So what happens is
China had something similar, didn't they?
Well,
it's like translated to like nest of bees or something.
Technically, the Japanese didn't have one until years later.
They based it off the
Hwacha.
Yeah, the Hwacha.
Originally,
so the Hwacha came up, and so they had 200 set up. So what they did was,
it's
200 set up. What they did was, now mind you, there was only 3,000 Korean troops, but with 200 Hwachas, 1,000 Japanese
soldiers.
So you have to understand, during the 15th century, sometimes it's psychological. So here you have these rocket-propelled arrows flying through the air. Now, mind you, they didn't light them all at the same time. They lit them all at different times. So here you got these 200 Hwachas. You got
some
these
of them
200
more than the others.
But you still have like about 200 coming at you, 100, 200 coming at you, or 50 or whatever.
There's about 200 arrows.
Yeah.
Per
So
Hwacha.
you're talking 200 arrows. That's 2,000, 4,000 arrows coming at you.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have known any better. But guess what? They hit.
And not to mention, the arrows were also designed to explode once it finally reaches target.
Wow.
So basically, not only were you dealing with freaking flying arrows, you're also dealing with explosive arrows. And then that's when... And here's the thing,
when they
no Korean soldier died in that fight. Only the Japanese lost troops.
But remember that it was neat because when they went up there, they overshot. They overshot everything. But when they went up there and they started taking a look, if you put it down here, it would have been absolute carnage. Absolute carnage.
Yeah, if they backed it up, they would have hit every single one of those targets.
But the thing is that the way the general had it set up, that they didn't fire it all at once, but what they did was they were firing at different points, so it hit at different points.
Yeah.
So, and it was really, and that right there, because it scared the living bejesus out of them.
Oh yeah, it was a terror weapon beyond a shadow of a doubt. Our modern MLRSs are designed based on that.
Yes, it's still used to this day.
Favorite ancient myth that was tested. Mine was the paper armor. That was really cool.
Oh yeah,
that was very good.
The Oriental paper armor. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
You know what I thought was kind of neat was the listening device.
Oh yeah, remember?
Oh yeah,
the drum.
Yeah.
And how Carrie was able to match every single hit.
You know, and I thought that was kind of a really neat thing.
Yeah, when I looked at her, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Is she actually hearing this?
She was timing each.
And Carrie in general. I mean, she was still doing a lot of those dangerous myths, even when she was a couple months pregnant with this kid. She had some
balls of steel.
Yeah.
When it comes down to ancient myth, the arrow machine gun.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, they actually created an arrow machine gun.
That was actually very good.
Yeah, that's right.
And it actually worked.
Wasn't it based on ancient Greek design?
Yes, it
was. Okay, so it is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
that was good.
Ancient, I think it was ancient Roman.
Do you remember? The torpedo?
Or it was Grecian,
You remember the torpedo?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the
Ancient torpedo.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
I still, however, if I'm gonna say all of them, I'm still gonna put the one on my list I put for number, I think it was 3 or 2. That was the Archimedes Death Ray.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
mainly
yeah.
mainly not only because they did do it twice before, but for the fact that the President of the United States of America himself stated that not only were these guys the most important people in the world for kids
For the younger generation.
For our new generation nowadays, but basically for him pulling out all the stops to help them out.
Well, the thing is that it's
It shows you just how influential Mythbusters became after all that. And this was like a little bit before their halfway point.
Yeah.
Well, it was. Well, you got to remember when Mythbusters first came out, it was, as I said, it was a work in progress, but it was still a wonderful sense of science was making a comeback. It's kind of like and I think that's what really made this show go, and that's the reason why that a lot of science teachers took full advantage of the fact that now they could go up there and put something on TV and show class something.
Yeah,
Look,
I think Isaiah
this is all
said
the
that.
work.
Yeah, Isaiah, you guys know I'm a Snowing Gecko.
Yeah.
His class watched Mythbusters.
Oh, and why?
Which
and
shows
you should.
it. Which honestly, I'm like, I wish they did that back when I was in grade school.
Back in high school, the only cool thing I watched during class once was for my history class. We watched Schindler's List. Holy shit, that was.
Oh, that's intense.
The little girl in the red coat. Jesus,
Yeah.
I still remember
Yeah.
the first and last time you see.
Here's a myth. The Plywood Parachutes.
Oh my.
Plywood.
Remember the myth where a guy unfortunately was trying to move some plywood on top of a skyscraper.
Oh,
The wind current hits him.
That's right.
He used the plywood to be able to glide himself all the way back down.
Okay, so let me tell you a
That's
story back in
right.
1987. So I was at St. Paul Island, and I was just cleaning one of our front mat,
Yeah.
So, and it's a big mat. So anyway, I'm going, and you couldn't really tell that the wind, because I was against the building. And then all of a sudden,
Whoosh.
I got like this, and I took off. Now, mind you, I'm holding on to this thing like this, and I am actually gliding about 30 feet down range. And then I went up there and hit pretty good, but I still landed like this, and I was just like going, I'm just taking a look like that. I was like going, holy crap.
I would have loved to do that.
Because it caught me off guard. And pretty soon you're up in the air, and you're just like looking down, and you're like going, holy crap,
That started to remind me of the first and only time I rode on a zip line. I was at a friend of my grandmother's retirement party, and her house has a zip line in the back because she has a lot of grandchildren.
Makes sense.
So I give it a go. At one point, I realized, oh my god, I'm going really fast. If I don't drop now, if I get to the end, I'll launch.
Yeah.
So instead of launching, I decided to take a dive.
Yeah.
And rolled. I was covered in tree sap. I was sore for like 5 days. And it was. I hurt so bad that I almost crawled inside her giant freezer to try and soothe the aches.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't let me keep it open long enough for me to at least keep my hand from hurting.
Yes.
For me, I would love to do one of those skydiving machines. But,
I would love to try those too, because that actually looks really fun.
Yeah. Actually,
Or the planes that go on those parabolic arcs.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
yes,
Actually,
yes.
I remember that myth.
The
Where they
vomit
did
comet. That's what they call
Yes.
I remember they did a myth about moonwalking.
it. Well, that's what the whole thing
And they
was.
recreated the whole damn thing. Easy.
Well, if you saw what they were doing, is that they were going up there. They were wondering, is the hop? Because you remember, you see all that right there. But the hop is the most efficient way to be able to move through space. When you're on the moon. So it just proved that.
Because it's only a sixth of Earth's gravity.
Yeah.
But still, it's insane that they managed to recreate it to point for point. Especially wearing these spacesuits.
I just remembered something about the gravity on the moon. I remembered that on an episode of Futurama, that the Planet Express delivery company got charged with delivering moon rocks that were taken by the Apollo astronauts back to the moon, which they found out later was a complete load because the guy just used it to build a wall to keep his bungalow in. And Bender was talking about how easy it was to move all these rocks on the moon, and so he said something about being twice as lazy or something, and comparing it to being a cartoon voice actor, which
yeah, exactly.
I thought that was really
what
funny.
was really funny about the moon rock that Neil Armstrong found, right? Well, they were going to do anything. They want to make sure that they got something. But so it was kind of like with all the problems that they had to land long, so it was kind of, a blessing in disguise. The Lord says, look, this is going to be the oldest rock that you're ever going to find. You're going to find it right here. So, so when they made the landing, but that was kind of the neat. Out of all of the rocks they brought back, that was the one was most significant because it was the oldest rock
on the moon.
When they found at the time. But also, if you watch The Big Bang Theory, right? And what they did was they fired a laser at the
moon, and
at Apollo 15. They have reflectors there, so you can go up there like that. And what you're doing is you're looking for an amplitude raise right over here for it to come back.
And then they actually found it.
And so that's how you go up there and you determine right there, that there's Apollo 15 and there is reflectors there, and this all you're doing is you're just looking for this one change in amplitude, and then you're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh, I
remember the time when they dropped Buster off a plane.
I remember when they dropped him into the water from a great height.
Yes.
To test to see if you could break the surface tension and not die upon impact.
True.
But not from a plane.
Yeah, they did that. I think it was for when a parachute failed. Just how bad would it hurt?
Well,
and of course, because he exploded. Oh, and then there was another one. If you were to fall from a certain height, would hitting water at a certain height be equivalent to hitting cement?
I believe that was
These
in the
are
same
pigs.
episode I was just talking about, wasn't it?
It was in a similar vein, but it was Tori Grant Carey who did it when they discovered the effects that, surprisingly, it actually does a lot less damage than you would hit cement.
You remember the one, and this is this car myth, but it was a great one where they went up and it was a commercial. But what they did,
dropping the car.
They dropped the car and went like that.
I remember that.
That was a great myth. That was a great myth.
Oh yeah, I have to admit it was definitely an interesting one.
Yes, it was. It was actually really damn cool when you think about it. And stuff like that,
remember the myth where they were actually launching someone using rockets, fire.
Like
fireworks?
the Chinese astronaut, wasn't that?
No, not that one. It was the other one. The one where the dude strapped fire. Damn, I don't know why I'm doing it. Fireworks on the back of his surfboard. And he launched himself off a ramp.
Yeah, I remember that.
And launched himself off a ramp. They actually, even though, yes, the original one didn't work, but they did design one that could actually fly pretty dang far.
I remember.
That was a good one, too. I mean, if you really go up there and you take a look at the Mythbusters and what they tackled, they tackled a lot of different things. But one of the favorite ones, I think not favorite ones, but the one that people wanted to know was fuel efficient myths. Was probably their big one because it's kind of like you got all of these things, and they tried
motorcycles versus cars. They tried the Dimple and all that.
A fuel efficiency thing I remember is for your pickup, whether to have the gate
down or up.
Down or up, or have the net. And apparently the net did a much better job than the other two.
Well, actually, I thought the net didn't do that well, only because remember that if you take a look in the back, you got drag, right? So what you're doing is you're using the drag to go like that. So the arrow for the aerodynamics and the efficiencies are supposed to go over the car like this, but there's got to be a certain level of drag on there. What they found is that the net in itself, because it did not really hold, it didn't do. I'm not sure. I'll have to relook at that.
plane versus car. They tried reaching one part of their destination by car, and the other one destination by plane. See which one was faster.
Well, yeah, because you remember you still have to get off the plane and get into a car to drive.
Because you have, well, first you have.
Or if you're high enough, whee!
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
yeah, but basically the myth is that when you deal with going through airports, airport security,
God, yeah.
baggage claim, all that stuff, it would take much less time just to drive there.
So
than
what
it
they,
would
I
to
think it
that.
was they were driving from
Northern
I think
California
it
to
was
Southern
California.
California.
So they were going from Los Angeles to San Francisco.
I thought it was
was-
Sacramento. Or
Sacramento, I think, yeah.
Or I think it was. Well, the only reason why I was saying San Francisco because they're all based out of San Francisco.
I'll double check.
that is true.
And so they flew out of SFO going down to, what's that place? Down LAX. So, I mean, but the thing is that it's a 5-hour drive between one and the other.
Yeah.
Or would it be easier for you? So what it is for them, they dropped them off, they went walking in to go for their flight, and they got on the road.
Right.
Oh, here we go.
You'll get your patients really cut your commute.
All right, traffic tricks. What we got?
yeah.
The myth is, it is better to stay in one lane in heavy traffic than to lane change. You'll get to your destination.
Oh, wait. Whoops, wrong one.
Oh.
But that was weaving in traffic, if I remember correctly.
Well, you remember the ones where they said to make right turns only?
That's true.
So you go in there, and what they do is because a lot of times in those bigger cities, it's hard to turn left. So what they said was that if you could go in and make nothing but right hand turns, that you'll be able to get to you'll be able to get your route done faster. So because you know how it is, even here sometimes you go up there, you might only be 1 or 2 cars, and then all of a sudden you're the third one to turn left, and there's still 15 cars behind you. You know, so what they're saying is that you would be staying in there longer, so it'd be easier, more fuel efficient. That if you went to, everybody would just make right-hand turns, and then you could be able to get to your destinations and stuff like that. It was actually more fuel efficient to make right-hand turns.
Yeah, I'm trying to
And
remember.
and to me, I see the plausibilities because you're driving and you're not doing stop,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I think it was from one destination to another. I'm trying to think of another one. Shoot. I swear to God, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time, but yeah. Give me a second. Versus. Here we go. Travel.
I would have done Mythbusters plane versus car.
You know.
Yeah,
the,
but if I did that, it would have been something else.
Okay.
Oh! Car AC on versus windows down. The reason why is that at certain speeds, it's better to have your windows down below 50 miles per hour.
Yes.
If you had your windows up at 50 miles per hour with the AC on, it would be around the same fuel efficiency,
Yes.
which they actually proved to be confirmed.
Yes, that was a confirmation. But you know, let's see. What was the one? Oh shoot. Oh, I'm thinking Arlie Ermy. Sorry, you know. But you remember the? I don't remember the earlier myths for some reason. I'm just.
I remember the guy strapping balloons to his lawn chair.
Yes, that was a good one.
Oh,
where he had to shoot. Well, he had the gun. He had
yeah.
to go the little
Right.
pellet gun.
The gold paint.
That from
That was
Goldfinger. Yes, Goldfinger. Yep.
And actually, technically, there was a condition that someone had when they had the paint for the Tin Man.
Yeah, but remember they used an aluminum paint back then too.
Yeah,
an actual,
Yeah, which was not necessarily good for your
yeah,
body.
because it was and that was Buddy Epson. You know, the guy who played
The Tin
Jeb
Man.
on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh.
Yes. So yes, he got deathly ill. Yeah.
Amazing man.
Yeah, I remember hearing a lot of toothpaste back in the day had aluminum in it as
did.
an abrasive, and people who got it had some I think it was mental conditions later on.
There was a few. There was that plus there was some other things that aluminum does that it's still a necessary.
Evil or
Well, it's a necessary mineral for the body, but the
You
thing
can't
is,
have it
if
in
you're
large
having
amounts.
it
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time and you're building it up because it doesn't like get out of your body because it is kind of a heavier metal,
True.
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that.
Let me see. What other older myth? Oh yeah, the exploding toilet.
God!
It was the myth that got Buster onto the show.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because they
Yes.
actually brought him in, and well, he originally was doing car safety at the time, and it's like, why not just have him to the Mythbusters? And
Yeah.
that poor crash test dummy has been put through more
That
hell.
was-
than
I
any
remember when
other.
they gave him dragon skin as a replacement material.
I thought it was
they tried.
hilarious that the fact that it really what took the show to new heights was because of Buster.
Yeah.
Buster was
Poor-
Buster was this Mythbuster that
Who
was
could literally do the impossible.
anything that he wanted
Yeah.
to do. He was like Gumby.
Or-
He did all of his own stunts, you know. And I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah. I remember on a couple episodes they used something called a sim daver, something to replicate the human
Yeah.
body so they could really check in real time to see how
Like the time of carrying a body through an area and trying to dispose of the body.
Or like the episode I first saw it on was when they, I believe they were testing a myth from Burn Notice when they were jumping out a window high up into a pool with a mattress.
Yep, and that failed. You would die from the impact.
Yeah.
There was so many. You remember the one where they escaped from prison? Where they
Yeah.
had one where she braided the hair.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember.
it was
that.
human hair, bed sheets, and toilet paper.
Yes.
Right. Oh wait, another prison escape thing they did was from Shanghai Noon with the pea-soaked silk.
Oh yes.
Oh shoot.
The
I'm
only
trying
thing
to remember.
that I don't think they took into account is not using silk that had been sewn to another piece because that's where it failed.
Yeah, they had. You see, I love that one, but they also did the salsa one.
Oh yeah,
Salsa escape.
that was in the same
With
episode as
cement truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, cement. Yes. There was so many. They had so many myths. You can't even hit every point. You know what I mean? It was just crazy.
What about Coke?
Oh yes.
How Coca-Cola was used to basically get rid
clean,
of clean,
abrasive,
petty,
the whole.
Oh, yeah.
clean blood.
Oh God.
That was actually a pretty good one right there. But you saw how shiny things got when you put some Coke into it. Or they used alcohol as trying to remove smell.
Like the smell of cigarettes from your clothes.
Yeah, and it was funny that they used like it was supposed to be some sort of magic elixir, you know.
The CD explosion. Remember they used the CD drive?
Yeah, you remember?
Put it at top speed and
yeah.
make the CD shatter?
Yeah, but what they did was they had to go up there and get something else there that went up to a higher RPM, and they all of a
Higher
sudden,
RPM than you can
and
ever
when
produce.
they turned it up, and then all of a sudden you're just watching that
Yeah.
thing wobble,
And then-
boom.
Yeah. One of my other favorite myths, just because it was so gross, trying to make a candle out of earwax.
Oh, that
If they
was...
could have
Oh, you mean
separated
from the
all
Shrek
the-
movie.
Yeah, like if they could have separated the hair enough, it could have worked.
No, I just... no.
Okay, here's one.
Yeah, it is gross.
Exploding
was-
Jawbreaker.
That was
Oh,
a good
God.
one, yes.
That injured Jessie when she got
No,
hit
it wasn't
by
Jesse. It was...
No, it was Jessie, remember? I'm sorry, Scotty.
No, it wasn't
Yeah,
Scotty.
Scotty
It
was
was
more danger.
No, it was not, because Scotty was part of the build team. She was an intern for Jamie and Adam.
Yeah, but wait, then who the heck got injured then?
It was. I can't remember her name.
I think it was
but
Scotty.
It was not Scotty. Scotty's part of the build team. What I was trying to tell you is that you had one that was an intern for Jamie and for Adam. For Adam and Jamie had their own intern that helped them out, right? Then you had Scotty and Tori and Carrie was the original build team at the time. Scotty quit because she was going to go back to teaching. So Grant Imahara was called back in.
Oh,
Jesse
her,
because Jesse only came in when Carrie was having her baby. Okay,
Right.
so when that was all finished, when that was done right there, Carrie came back, Jesse left,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's where it is. But they had her. She was, as I said, she was part of the intern for the Jamie and Adam.
Hmm.
Hold on.
Oh, it was Christine.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
right.
on part of her face and neck.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really hot Jawbreaker. Like, it was microwaved.
Ouch.
Well, they were trying to.
Ouch. That stuff's like
I
molten
can't remember.
lava.
I can't remember when.
Oh, here's one. Can an ordinary playing card kill someone?
I remember
Remember
they
that
tried
one.
that, and they actually, Jamie got cut by the card.
But unfortunately, it never went any deeper than that.
Yeah.
But when they
Basically
used
equivalent to a paper
when they used the ballistics,
They
the
actually
gel,
use a motor.
Well, yeah, but for the and there's no way that a human person can go up there and generate the speed. They had this thing over at 30,000 RPMs going
And it
after
still
it,
barely
and it
even
still
dug in.
went in. It was just like a little part right there. It just
Yeah.
broke the skin. That's pretty much about it.
Oh, a construction worker accidentally killed himself with static charge after sandblasting.
Oh,
into-
yeah, the sandblaster.
But that is true.
That
though.
one, unfortunately, no. That was busted.
Oh, that's right, because they utilized.
They used everything that they possibly can to try to get, at least with static electricity anyway, enough of a charge to be able to at least hurt someone at least. Or at least try to get it through the monitors to get it to shut down a heart, which none of them did.
No, but I think.
But it was still possible to send electricity through, but not
Not
the
enough.
charge that they were expecting.
Well, you got to remember too, the plausibility goes back to the 22,000 foot fall. How do you unless
22,000 foot fall.
Yeah, that's what it is, 22,000 foot fall. But what I'm saying is that when this person fell out of the plane and then the explosion was saved him, you have to go up there. Where did it all happen? And
But I think in this particular case, and this is because, again, sandblasting is not actually sandblasting, it's actually more wood.
Well, no, but you're
So
saying
in that particular case, the wood is not conductive with electricity, which means it would make sense why it wouldn't necessarily pass through as easily.
Well, but
and
you
the
al-
electricity current would
But
have
you
been
also
dropped
have
down
to
to a
understand
crawl.
what created
Yeah.
the spark. But then remember, if it's a very, very fine dust, it's just like if it was a vapor. So if you had something that sparked enough, then you could be able to take the wood particles that are basically a very, very fine dust, or go with a vapor at that point. It just take a look what happened to non-dairy creamer. So basically, if you had yourself a charge, and if that charge was strong enough to go up there and ignite that, then everything can go through.
Oh, I just remembered one. Hold on, let me look at the time. We'll just talk about this last one. Peeing on the third rail.
Oh,
yeah, I was gonna bring that one up too. That was hilarious.
I can't remember. Was it confirmed?
Busted.
It was busted because
The only
of
way
the
they
fact-
confirmed it, or at least, well, in that case, basically having something equivalent to a horse dick.
Well,
you're so
Well
so
endowed.
close, or just so close to the rail that it's a continuous stream and not broken up into little
But if you
droplets.
if you take a look when they put the strobe on it, you can see that when it comes out as droplets.
Yeah, that.
So basically, what they're trying to say is that the more you open the hole, and the more you have liquid pouring out, the more your balls will hurt. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I think this is a good place to stop.
All right, so thank you guys so much for joining us. Honestly, we love talking about, and we are going to be doing more top 10s
Oh
in the future.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, because it's going to be very interesting. Sorry about that. I had to. Oh,
No, don't worry.
It's okay.
Next, of course, we will be reviewing
Oh yeah.
for next Saturday. And I think you guys are, and this is actually going to be Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, God. Oh, I don't think I can. It's just...
Well, the thing is that the movie's been out.
Yeah.
It's been out. And
I'm also
there's
gonna
a lot-
try to get Snowing Gecko to join in.
Oh,
if he
he absolutely
'Cause if
loves
anything,
that movie.
I
can.
think
He's the one person who saw it 3 times in the movie theater.
I'm gonna see if I can, if it's at all possible, to see if I can get Rune Phantom to join us.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
All 4 of us could
He
do it, yeah.
he loved the movie too, and he still wouldn't
Ow.
tell me even 2 weeks after the movie had come out if You Know Who was in it.
Wait, you know who?
No spoilers.
Until the
All right,
Until
yeah,
next
no
week.
spoilers
Well,
until
until
the
next
review.
week. So
Yeah.
But yeah, tonight we're hopefully gonna try to do D&D Minecraft. If not, then we'll be doing Astro's Playroom.
I was hoping we play that after the stream.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Oh yeah,
too.
we could still do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it was really nice because I've been kind of watching the development of the D&D Minecraft, gameplay and stuff like that, and it's
The way we set it up
the way they
is
set
gonna
it
be
up,
interesting.
it's going to be very excellent.
Yeah.
You guys want to be a part of that?
Basically,
Excellent.
I am
Yes.
of course gonna be I'm not only gonna be playing with everybody, but I'm also gonna be basically someone who helps everybody out.
So what
You're gonna have
Grim
it-
was doing?
Grim is gonna be the one who helps level people up, gives them equipment, gives them their payment, all that stuff.
No.
I'm gonna be the one, or basically like one of the co-DMs. I'll be the other DM that handles basically giving people as a guide, doing everything I can to assist them and teaching them how the game works, as well as of course getting to help explore with them if they ever need assistance.
This is the one time where you actually need to have
More than
two,
one
cannot,
DM.
You cannot have this be a one DM thing because
Yeah.
what happens is then you'll have
One
some
has to handle the
people-
system, the other one has to handle the guidance.
Yeah, because one will take. You could have people taking
Like
advantage
principal and vice
of,
principal.
Yeah,
Basically, yeah.
because the problem you have is that when you got people going up there and wanting to level up, they could take advantage of being able to get what they need and not have to work hard on leveling up
That's
right
true.
over there. And then you still got to have one that's going to go up there and still have to tell the story.
Still,
You
yeah.
still have to be able to get that thing
Yeah.
moving forward right there. Because if you don't, then you run into some huge problems afterwards.
And when it comes down to, I still want to thank Grim, though. He's been a real big help with helping out with getting all this stuff done. But yeah, you'll be seeing him on D&D Minecraft if we're lucky. So until then, I hope you all have an amazing day.
I have one thing to say for right over here. I know you don't like it because you hardly ever say it, but
Will you
just
please-
remember.
I do say it.
No,
Just
hold on.
let me say it next time.
No, you were just going to go right into your. You always do that. I'm just telling you, this is. Let your manager handle this.
No,
This is the
it
reason
is
why
my
I get
job,
paid.
My job.
This is the reason why I get
No.
paid.
You don't get paid at all.
Well,
you only
you
do
want-
it because you want to.
Well,
I'm not even joking.
Just let him do it.
do it.
Fine.
Lord, eat a
Yeah,
donut. Eat a blueberry donut. Save me from the donut.
Oh, you want me to get his mini bat?
Don't worry about it. I know exactly where they're at. Because I'm the one who put them away.
Actually, hold on. Before he says something, give me a second. We actually
We have one right there. You got
We
one
actually
right there.
have one of these old antique ones. I'm trying to find out what the Crusher one is.
Oh, it's on the deck right there. But I just want everybody to know for right
No,
over
it's
there,
not.
please follow on the deck.
I know.
Deck.
Oh.
It's down. It should be on the ground. And if it's not,
there
then
it is. I see
yes.
it.
So what I'm going to try to tell you right over here is to make sure that you like and follow and subscribe to his Twitch channel. Also on his Facebook to like and follow again, and also if you guys can. And subscribe on his YouTube. What we're trying to do is trying to keep this content going. Any little bit that you guys can be able to donate, it goes a huge way for here. I mean, so just as I said, that not all this stuff that we're doing right over here, it does cost, to go up there to be able to have all the. Oh
yeah,
yes.
here it is.
So I just want everybody to know that any little bit
Sweet.
that you can be able
Back
to
when the team
provide
was
to
still
this
around.
channel right over here, it's going to do really great for everybody here to be able to increase the content, to be able to do everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to go up there and pass it on to Retro.
You have any final words to say?
I I don't think so. I usually don't.
He wants to get on to the Astros.
For me,
Well, not just that. It's just usually I don't think of any poignant words until well after.
Yes.
It
And when
kind
it
of
comes to-
with like good jokes. Like someone does something stupid, I usually don't think of a good quip until well after.
Yeah.
Though I did have a rather proud moment when my grandfather a couple weeks ago was trying to put his arm through the sleeve of his coat, and he said, "I'm having trouble finding the hole."
Oh, no.
And I leaned over to my grandmother. It was like, I bet that's not the first time he said that. And I said it just loud enough to where he should have been able to hear it. Even though he's really hard of hearing, he usually will hear a dirty joke and be like, he did not laugh.
Oh.
Either he actually didn't find it funny, because he makes some god-awful jokes. Like the kind of dad jokes you're just like, ugh.
Cringeworthy.
Oh,
yeah.
cringe.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of the cringeworthy ones are legitimately funny, but sometimes the one he makes,
Yeah. Almost kind of reminds me of the Darkwing Duck quotes.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Oh, yes.
And then, of course...
Those were hilarious.
And of course, before I sign out, he mentioned these bats right here, the Crushers. If you guys want to know, this was an old team back in the old days before they had to shut down, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was Sonoma County Crushers.
Yep.
And it was a AA team.
Before they eventually left. But yeah. Anyway, until then, I hope you all have an amazing day. I will see you all next
Time.
Oh.
I was gonna say blueberry donuts.
oh, God.
Blueberry
No,
donuts.
it's not stinking. It's just that came out. That hurt me.
Oh.
Ow! The freaking pressure
Be
hurt.
prepared.
Okay.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
until then, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all next time. This is Mr. RetroActive signing out. Have a great day, everybody.
You were me for a second when you're like, oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, very funny.